All right, this is what you would this would be what you would see. I'm going to use the 17 mile because it's the shortest, the smallest. You don't have anything to deal with. They got 4 different races. You got the 100-mile race, 50-mile race, 35-mile race, and the 17-mile race. This is all put into Ryle Sloan puts all of this into a spreadsheet for us. You got, just on this 17 mile, you're going to see a Snake Creek start, what time they departed, Stover Road inbound, what time they arrive, Stover Road inbound, what time they left Stover Road, and then what time they would finish at the Trade Center. So instead of being on the microphone like we did several years ago when we first started, all of this stuff was passed by voice. And with the volume of runners and all the races, different races that they had, and you had, just like up on John's, we've got 100-mile, we got 3 races that come through. 35-mile, 50-mile, and 100-mile race comes through our station. And you've got to separate all of that stuff out. And one way that we do on the spreadsheet is they're wearing a white number. If you've seen on the others, like the 35-mile race, they had a blue. They got the blue number. So we have things to distinguish the different races between each other. What we tried to do at one time was to try to, like the 100 miles, they all started with the single-digit numbers and worked that away. And then when it comes to the 50 miles, we tried to keep the numbers together like 50s, but they've kind of worked away from that on us. Like the 35 miles, they had them all in the 200s. 17 mile, we're all in the 300 numbers. So it's a lot of work, but it helps us to practice in the event that we were deployed and we're passing traffic. It gives us practice to do so, and to me it's just fun anyway. You're out there working with other amateurs, working with those folks, and it's just a nice evening, nice weekend. We have all of this segregated out. Yeah, people on both ends of the camp area. You got those gathering the incoming and those that are gathering the outgoing numbers, and that's all passed to the folks that's doing the data entry. Last year, Anthony and I, we sat in that trailer from about 8 o'clock till about 12 o'clock, nonstop, constantly putting in numbers just to ship off to the other aid stations. You're communicating with the aid station on either side of you, and then also you send a message to the Trade Center where all of this stuff is put together on a screen for the race officials so that they know where everybody's at and where they're going. That's the way that goes. And I've done this practically every year, and kind of going back to we were talking about doing it by voice. I know we were up there one year, and my son came up, and him working with 911, it was just natural for him to pass that information, and he was a lifesaver for me to pass all that traffic. But now we've gone digital, and it's a whole lot easier. The voice is still there, it's intact. Like late at night, early morning, normally we just get on the microphone and hey, you got 102 and 105 headed to you. But still yet we have to enter that in. on the spreadsheet so that we can send it out to everybody, but it's just kind of a heads up to everybody. I'll just do a few of these. Like the departed time was going to be like 7 o'clock. For these two. So let's say that they did, they came in at 7:45 and 7:40, oops, I don't need to do that, 7:45. And then he departed at 8 o'clock. And then this one left at 7:50. Okay, so what we're going to do is there's some kind of some markers on there that you always look at the column. The column number is like here 17D, 17E, and 17F. And all of this basically is everybody's got the same spreadsheet we all have the same spreadsheet. So what you're going to do is, if you're going to send this out, you're going to go, we start at the column, and it's just a matter of copy and paste. And let's say we had all of this down through here had information in it that we wanted to send. You go all the way down to the bottom to where it says column D, column E, and column D, column E, column F. And then we copy this. Then you go over to your RMS Express, and I need to put, we're going to do tailnet right here, since there's so much RF in here. I open up a session and make it pop up here. So we got the session pulled up. You're going to just pull up a new message, and you're going to paste that in the message. You've heard of the 213s. That's the ICS 213. We tried to do that, but it won't hold. It will not hold the format when you put it in a 213. But just a regular message, it'll hold the format. And this is going to be. Are you online? AD4JW. And so I'm going to put in here Steve's address here. This is going to be Snake Creek. You can also, it's just like email as well. You can make contacts. You can make a contact list and put in. Go ahead and put the call signs of the stations that you want to send already in there, and it's like a group, like a group address that you do with your regular email. So I am going to go ahead, and you have to post it to the outbox. And here's the kicker: we're going to do a WinLink message. So it's got to go as a WinLink message. And if you go peer-to-peer, like we're just radio to radio, if you don't choose peer-to-peer, it's not going to go. It's not going to be sent if you choose WinLink, and it's not going to be sent if you choose peer-to-peer and want to send it WinLink. You got to make sure you have a WinLink message or a peer-to-peer message. So
Is it WinLink or is it peer-to-peer?
this is going to be WinLink. It's going to be Telnet. It's going to go into the server and away. I want to post it to the outbox. So there. This. Yeah. Last year we did. Hank wanted us to do peer-to-peer. It's good practice, but you had to you're kind of having to bounce back and forth between two, and I've kind of asked him if we couldn't just go ahead and do it, throw it into the server and pick it up off the server. So now we're going to go to the session. I'm going to crank it up. It's gone. All right, Steve.
Is that a good thing? It's gone.
It's gone. That's a good thing.
You transmitted it?
I transmitted it.
But that one you transmitted to the internet.
Yeah, that one went into the internet. Even if I'd done it by radio into a gateway, it would have been that way as well. Retrieve your message over there, Steve. You opened up a session.
Yeah, he opened it up and downloaded this to download one too, but didn't download that. Try it again.
Okay. There it is.
There it is right there.
Now I want you to close this. Yeah. I want you to which one of those are forward? This right here, see? That's reply. I want you to forward it.
Apply to all.
Forward message. Yeah, click that. Send it to K4WOC. So what Steve's going to do is he's going to forward that back to me, and I'll show you how we. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Is it gone? Excuse me, is it transmitted? It is a better word. It is a better term because it is like,
When something's going off my computer, it means I lost it.
you lost it. Yeah. So I'm going to go over here and see if it made it yet. Oh, there it is. Now this box will come up. Now you can hold this. You don't have to download. You could permanently delete the unchecked message, or you can download the check message. And I want to download this.
So you can make it be gone.
You can make it be gone, or you can just leave it on the server. Yeah, you can make it be gone. But I want to get it downloaded. And look in the inbox. And here it is. So what I've got to do is just go highlight this and I'll go down and get the bottom of it too. Maybe. Yep. Right click and copy it. Pull up my spreadsheet again. And you know, this is our starting point. And right click and paste. There it is. So that's how we do the passing of the traffic and the times. Each time doesn't matter if you've already transmitted. no matter if you already transmitted some of the information that's there. Excuse me. Go ahead and just copy the entire column. Copy it and send it on. You're going to see some terms that's like DNS. That means that runner never started. Did not start. And so maybe this runner right here decided to drop out. You're going to see a DNF, did not finish. So if we have someone at Johns Mountain that drops out, we notified the trade center and the other 8 stations ahead of us that runner's done. They're not going to finish. So that's 2 little items that you'll see in that report. So it's very simple, and the reason I bring this up, I've always done it, but this year I'd like for some of y'all to go ahead and get your feet wet and enter it in. I know we have 3 shifts, 7:30 till 3:30 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon till 11:30, and then 11:30 till the next morning when we load everything up. Last year we got done at 3:30, and we hit the sack, waited till daylight, and loaded up the trailer. And I don't mind doing that, but like I say, the heavy time is the 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. After that, most of your runners are through, and we're just waiting on stragglers. But I've spent the night there, get up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning or before, because that's when the race starts, is at 5 o'clock from the 100-mile point, and gather up all the information. So it's just a help to me, and Anthony usually is with me, so he just gives us a little time to chill out for a while. Don Coltrane came up last year and worked with us and pulled that night shift, but they're going to be over in Dry Creek this year. Hank's invited them to cover the Dry Creek area. So, what times did you say you had, Bonnie? Did y'all was going to do the morning?
I thought it was 8:30 to 3:30, but I heard you say 7:30.
Yeah, that 8 to 3 is fine.
All right, we'll be there.
Okay. All right.
Got a question on that.
Yeah.
You copied the one all the way down to the bottom.
Yes.
What happens if you don't go all the way to the bottom? In other words, if you stop, say you stop at 3:15, because there's nothing else comes in, and you have actually stopped copying right there, and you send it off. When they get it back in on the other, at the next station, they'll only get that section.
That's all they'll get. It's just kind of a marker to let us know that you've sent the entire column.
Okay.
So if you go from 17D at the top all the way to the bottom, then that next station says, yep, they sent the entire column to us.
Yeah, because you're not filling it in from top to bottom. You're filling it in sporadically based on when they come in.
Right, I
So
mean,
if you don't know that you have 100% of the message, you might
yeah, it's gonna,
assume something's missing or whatnot.
right, you're gonna think it's something's missing and,
And also
But-
that runner that you marked will be your last runner on that list. So you would have to copy the whole column. Because a lot of times that, if you get a number, say, of 350, and it's the last name on that list, if it comes in, you wanna send it out, yeah, you have to.
Because otherwise it's an incomplete list.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be, it's
Some
gonna be,
spaces.
it will be sporadic. It's just like, your start for every race, everybody's gonna get a message transmitted to them that this is when they all started. It's gonna have the did not starts. It's gonna have all of those. So every one of the start slots should be filled. And then, like Brian was saying, it's just gonna be here and there, depending on when they come into your aid station and when they leave. We've been tracking arrival time and also departure time, and I assume that we probably will be doing that. I've thought about, well, why don't we just do the depart time? Because if they didn't depart, they never arrived. But I guess there is some validation to
Hey, Felton,
doing the arrive. Yeah.
why is Stover Road depart called inbound?
Stover Road inbound is because they start at Snake Creek, they're headed back to the trade center. So they're coming into the Stover Road aid station. Then when they get there, that time's recorded. And then when they depart, it should be, it should be outbound, but it's still inbound here. Let me see if he's got it over on the other one. I never had even noticed that because,
Then return and come back in the other direction?
no, they keep continuing.
Same way.
Yeah.
You said go with the right.
Okay.
Well, if they're all inbound.
All right.
You need the word inbound.
This is why he has them inbound. I had to think about it just a second. They're inbound to the trade center. If they were leaving the trade center, they're going to be they'll be outbound. It's just like a trade center start, and then right here they're outbound, they're outbound. All the runners are going out, and then when they turn around and come back, then he lists them as inbound. That's what they're doing there.
It's a trade center reference.
Yeah, it's trade center reference. That's correct.
So if I'm a mountain on that one right there,
Yes, sir.
Snake Creek's gonna be sending, they're gonna be sending column GH, like that, right, to John's Mountain. And John's Mountain's gonna be sending, I can't say it, I guess it's IJ. You're gonna be sending that on, Manning Mill or something like that?
Yeah, it'll be Dry Creek. Dry Creek will be sending to us the
They'll be coming from Snake Creek going outbound, right?
they're going to be
100 mile,
100 milers. Okay.
they'll be coming from Snake.
Snake Creek has the beginnings of the 50-mile race and the 35-mile race. So they're gonna be inbound, all of those will be inbound to the trade center.
Right, coming to us.
Coming.
From Snake Creek on the 100-miler outbound.
Right, correct.
But you're gonna be copying, you're gonna be receiving from Snake Creek, you're gonna be sending to, what's the next, Manning Mill or?
No, it's Dry Creek.
Dry Creek,
And that'll be that will be the 100 milers.
right.
We'll be, Snake Creek will tell us that they're headed our way, and then we'll grab them and tell Dry Creek that they're headed your way.
What kind of intervals do you do that?
In the heat of it, it's probably every, say, 30 minutes when you get a good list and get a point to break and send it on, because you want to let them know in time that they're coming, because they're always asking me. There's always somebody, when's the next runner coming? What time are they going to be here? My brother's in there. Well, where's he at? I mean, we're the information center. You know, like I say, it's pretty easy, folks, and get you. It takes at least two people. You got one entering and the other one trying to keep it all straight coming to you.
So Felton,
Yes, sir.
is the main concept to get the data to where the guy is going
Yes.
and to the trade center?
Yes. Yeah, you got 2 points. You got those 2 points, where they're going and the trade center. That's the 2 points that you're communicating with. It lets them know that they're headed your way, and it lets the people at the trade center, they can look and say, well, that runner is right there. There's some of the aid stations that are a pickup point where they allow people to go. Johns Mountain is not one of them because of the road conditions and limited space. But places like Snake Creek, people can meet their runner there and pick them up or give them supplies or whatever they need.
If a guy doesn't show up at a reasonable time, what do they do? Send somebody.
Well, that's another issue that we have. We have had people they do come close to some of the main highways over in that area. They'll just jump in the car with somebody and go back to the motel room. Then we have to find them. We have to let the people at the trade center. This runner is hour overdue. So they'll start calling and find they're laid up at the motel room.
Is it here or on the bypasses where they send a sweep to track down the lost ones?
Well, they do send sweeps at the end of the race. They do have sweeps that come up behind all the runners and make sure that nobody's straggling along.
And then you'll have people that tag along with most of your runners for the 100-milers at night. And it's because most time you have 2 people running.
You know, some of the runners
Carry the other one while, you know.
Some of the runners have pacers, have pacers to run with them, and what those pacers do is they're not officially in the race, but they just keep them going, motivated to run.
On course.
Yep.
They don't run the whole race with you?
No, they'll go in at different places.
Johns Mountain's a big place where we pick them up and run the last 50 miles of that 100 mile.
Yeah, the pacers come in when they get delirious and tired.
They do get delirious. They do get delirious.
Did I get the lead?
The runners.
That's the first year I heard that phrase. It said pacer. They went to the aid station and asked for a pacer, and I said, "What's a pacer?" And the runners told me, said some of them by the time they get there, they're just functioning. They're not thinking. They're just dazed. It keeps them on the course, keep them wandering out in the woods, and also those runners, they don't quit. Is not a word in their vocabulary. They'll keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. a guy come in there one year, he says, I think I'm gonna drop. And I said, well, we can sign you out, we'll tell them at the aid station. The aid station's run by other runners. And they say, you just tired, man, you just need something to drink, you need something to eat. So they give him some water and some food, and said, come on, man, you make Snake Creek. So he gets Snake Creek, and said, I'm tired, man, I think I'm gonna drop. I said, oh, come on, man, you's hungry, you just need to get something to eat, you know, I mean, they push him.
Yeah, they do. They do. They don't. They'll keep pushing them to go on, and sometimes they just really need to stop. You remember that year when we was up there, and I think it was the lady of color that she was in between two runners, and they just brought her up there and just chucked her in the back of a van.
Oh, yeah.
She was gone. They just threw her in throw the side door open and throw her in there, and that's it. Done. And then there's always that possibility of a medical emergency. We've had to call for medical emergencies. Not only medical emergencies, but we over at the Narrows, we had the stolen car.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had some aid station workers spooked.
And it was a patrol car, wasn't it?
It was an old Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Been stolen that night before. We called it in, they come down there and checked it out. Any other questions? But yeah, this is a whole lot better way than the old way of sending it by voice. Packet's it's a great communications tool. It's not something you just play with like FM 2 meters or anything like that. It just for sending a message, sending traffic. That's what it's good for. Does a great job of it.